Hello. So this week's content, building off of our Climate Week wrap-up webinar, is on electric vehicles. So one of the companies we focused on in the webinar was Ford Motor Company and their investment into redwood materials. This week, looking at our top movers for the last 7 days, filtered to environmental, we see a lot of the companies listed here are motor vehicles and electric car companies. So we have TVS Motor, which is a motorcycle manufacturer in India, signed a MOU with Tata Power to collaborate on charging infrastructure and electric infrastructure in India. We have Volvo here. They are focused on what they're calling an IPO, basically issuing new shares for electrification efforts. They hope to raise 2.9 billion to help them meet their electrification goals. And last week, their subsidiary Polestar also announced that they were going public as well. We also have BMW here. They pretty much showed a new prototype of a car that uses nearly all recycled materials that they were showing at a car show in Munich. GM signed an agreement with GE to collaborate on supply chain for battery technology. And so they have, a strategic partnership there where GE is going to be, providing batteries for General Motors, essentially. There was also a lot of talk about GM increasing their sales of electric vehicles and, potentially surpassing Tesla in sales this year. And we also have the Ford Motor Company. This is some residual sentiment from the other week from their, partnership in battery recycling. So, a lot of car companies, motor vehicle companies listed here. Oh, and Tesla too is getting involved with Australia and beefing up Australia's electric grid, providing battery storage, and then making it easier for people to charge their Teslas in Australia. So there's a lot of stuff about electric vehicles this week that showed up on our platform, and it's not all to do with production. A lot of it is infrastructure and charging. That's one of the big pain points in getting electric vehicles on the road is where do people charge them? So, a lot of companies like Tesla are making it easier for people to charge. TVS Motor also working on charging solutions. Then we have other companies like GM and BMW are focusing on their supply chain. So these companies are not only focusing on production, but looking into ways to vertically integrate their supply chains and products. So that was what really stood out this week. We of our 20 top movers, about over a quarter of them were involved in the electric vehicle space. So there's a lot to cover and a lot to unpack in the content this week.